Hey, Kerry here. Been doing some communication with Brad Officer. Brad is a real estate agent in Jacksonville, Florida, and he and I have communicated on a number of occasions. And he caused me to do some thinking, um, saying that he and a realtor friend had done some talking about how there's two separate markets in the real estate market, and this is something that I've spoken of. And then basically he says at a certain price point and above, one third to one half of listed homes sell. They have long listing periods, sometimes well over a year. Need Needed double the listing inventory to meet your individual goals. Competing against seasoned agents who are oftentimes not doing anything new, so there's an opportunity to stand out. He then also says the second market is the moderate to middle priced homes, and almost always sell. Many sellers don't have the cash on hand to make the needed repairs and updates. Highly likely to get a price from an iBuyer, highly likely to be an FISBO, and increasingly high competition from other aggressive new modern agents, less opportunity to stand out. So I think he's summarizing what I believe is that we've got to come up with a unique marketing proposition that sets us apart from anybody and everybody else and makes the lister, the listing client, want to list with us. So I went to a place in my mind where I spend a lot of time, and it's called what I call my what if section. And I want to talk to you a little bit about some of my what ifs. I've read some interesting articles in commercial real estate where developers are developing office buildings and then they are selling shares in that ownership to investors, and they're creating a form of a real estate investment trust or a REIT. And the investor is in it for the appreciation of the real estate over the coming years. Well, what if you could do something like that in residential real estate? And my first thought was that we are going to enter the digital transformation of our society, and we're going to create some massive new wealthy people. Those people who adapt to this transformation, and that will be in literally every field of commerce. It'll be in the medical field. It will be. We just saw something of an operation that was done entirely with robotics. Those people who master those robotics and that technique will become extremely wealthy. Those people who master artificial intelligence and work for some of the G-MAFIA, Google, Amazon, IBM, Microsoft, Facebook, and Apple will create some massive wealth. And what if we created a vehicle by which, let's use a young doctor, let's say a young orthopedic surgeon who wants to buy a $2 million house, but he doesn't have the history and the earnings yet to do it. Well, what if I could step forward as an investor and invest 10% or the down payment, the $200,000 down payment he would need to buy that house, and thus buy 10% ownership in the house. And again, if I believe that that house is going to appreciate in value at a substantial rate, that's a good investment for me. What if, on the other hand, and the other thing I've been talking an awful lot about is turning homes into smart homes. And I asked the question at one point, what is your data worth? Well, this is a young doctor who's going to make a lot of money. He's going to buy a lot of things. His data's worth a lot. Well, what if we could then get one of the G-MAFIA, who are gathering all this data, to pay up front for the data that they're going to get out of this house, and we turn it into either an Alexa home, a Google Manager home, or a Facebook portal home, and whichever chooses to pay something up front for the rights for that data for the duration of the time that this young executive, doctor, whatever, lives in that house. Well, what if we could create that form of buying pool where you have investors and then you have data collectors that are helping to bring these difficultly sellable homes up to standard? I looked at one just this morning, and it's a 8,000 square foot home in Greystone, a gated community, and it's down to $106 a square foot. There is no way that if that house was burnt down, that you could rebuild it for anything less than probably $200 a square foot. Well, why isn't it selling? It's selling because it looks like somebody's grandparents' home. The kitchen is the same as it was when it was built in 1996. The paint, the wallpaper, it's the same as what it was. Well, what if, again, this investor came in and invested $60,000 and upscaled that house, and then also made it attractive for this young doctor, and we made it a smart home as well? Well, what if we put these two things together to breathe some life into this part of the market that is having difficulty selling right now? And I want to give you, I did a video that I put out that the thumbnail showed me sitting on a toilet. And my wife and my son screamed at me so loud I immediately took it down. So, but it was for my way of emphasizing that smart homes are going to include a smart toilet. I want you to watch this video here.
Toilets? Yes, the future of flushing is almost here. Gabriella Russ talked with a team of University of Wisconsin-Madison scientists working to develop a smart toilet prototype.
So we got very interested in the toilet.
Some people think we're crazy, but I think we're onto something.
In most workplaces, toilet talk is frowned upon.
Now we need to put that technology in the toilet, and we need to make it broadly available.
For researchers at UW-Madison, flushing is the future.
Our toilet, our smart toilet, will have a collection container in the front, and then we can have pipes coming out the bottom that will pump the urine away for analysis in our mass spectrometers.
And doctors say urine samples are non-invasive and can tell a lot about a person's overall health. And by collecting and processing this data, they're calling it the toilet revolution.
The opportunity to revolutionize toilets once again by allowing it to not just dispose of waste, but to give you access to your health information.
Data from the toilet can show caffeine or alcohol intake or how your body metabolizes certain medicines.
But this way you could monitor that throughout the course of your life daily. And we think that could really change healthcare and preventative medicine.
Scientists are programming the potty to compile the information like a smartwatch would.
I think the reason the watch is so powerful is because you don't have to do anything different. People wore watches before, but all of a sudden we have access to this data.
Modernizing even the most private of places.
By being able to look at an actual bodily fluid with this sort of resolution, we can get a peek inside the body.
That was Gabriella Rusk reporting. The team says they're about 3 months from working a prototype. They're planning another study over the next year, analyzing how the technology works.
Now I want to carry that one step further than they did. I have a close friend. I've mentioned this in another video. He's been diagnosed with renal cancer. He had his kidney removed. He's getting ready to go into probably 2 years of extreme chemotherapy, probably before he dies. What if 2 years ago he had a smart toilet, and he urinated into that toilet, and it came back. The data was collected, it was pushed up into the cloud, and it came back on his phone that he needed to get to do it. The doctor, he had something going on in his kidney. He wouldn't have had to have his kidney removed. That's a big expense. He wouldn't be going through chemotherapy. That's a big expense. He would live. The fact is that none of us go to a doctor on a regular basis and get a blood test or a urinary sample or a colonoscopy until we get over 65 years of age. What if we had these things in our homes? What if we had a smart toothbrush that had sensors that analyzed our saliva? What if once a month we pricked our finger and that data immediately went into the cloud and it was analyzed? And we started doing this from the day we were born. What would that do to the cost of medical care in the United States and around the world? It would probably cut it to 1/10 of what it costs us now. And why do I use that number? Because 80% of what is spent on my medical care will happen within the last 6 months of my life. Well, what if we diagnose these things early enough that that doesn't happen? That when we get to that point, all options have been removed because we've done such a good job of diagnosing our health and our health care prior till we get to our deathbed. I think this is the most exciting thing that has happened in my life. And I don't think enough people are recognizing that real estate is where it can happen. The number of homes, new homes that are built, and Amazon is doing a thing with Lennar Homes that they are making them smart homes, but the number of used homes that are resold in a year compared to new homes that are built is I think it's tenfold. So what if we could stimulate the sale of these expensive homes and get the price of the homes and subsidized by investors and by data collectors, the G-MAFIA? I think this is a dream, and I think it's going to happen. And I want to be a part of it. So if you're with one of the G-MAFIA, give me a call. Let's talk about this further. If you don't, I wouldn't say if you don't understand it. I think you know it's coming. But I think I have some background in real estate that can probably help you move it along a little faster. Okay, if you like this kind of video, if you want to see more of them, like the video and then tap that bell. That way you'll be notified when I make another new video. And like Brad Officer did, if you got some interesting ideas, email me and let's talk about it. And let's be a part of something bigger than ourselves. Wouldn't that really be cool?